Hey, what's going on, everybody? Here with a very rare midweek video just to share the incredible gains that the stock market had today. Plus, I'm working from home and I had to find something to actually do to preoccupy some time here. So let's just try to stay positive here for this video. If you want to see some negativity, go ahead and turn on CNN, go ahead and turn on Fox, and you'll see plenty of negativity over there. But here, it's only positive vibes, guys. Let's just stay on here and enjoy these gains, even if they are short term. I know as soon as I release this video, I'm sure the markets are gonna come crumbling right back down. But for one day, it was really nice to see the markets go back up like it was during the good times. And the markets were up 7% today, and that's because some investors felt like the C19 was finally starting to slow down. And looking at numbers of percent of new cases every day, that does seem to be the case, and I certainly don't hope to jinx anything. With New York expected to reach its apex later this week, according to its governor, let's hope that the worst is already here and we just start to get better and better. And speaking of New York, I don't think anyone actually noticed this, but in the background of my last portfolio update, there was actually a picture of the New York skyline, and I had just put that in there to honor the hard times that New York was going through right now and how we're all thinking of one another during these tough times. So that was actually a picture of New York. Not sure where in New York. I've never actually been there myself, but according to Google Images, it was New York. So if you guys actually watched more than the first 2 minutes of that last video, you would have known there was a trivia question that I snuck in there. And the trivia question was, other than Johnson & Johnson, what other company has a higher credit rating than the US government? And that company, of course, is another stellar company, and that is Microsoft. So Gen X was actually the first one to answer it correctly. But since he's a robot and not an actual human, I want to congratulate Victor, as he is actually the first victor of our very first contest. So I think I'm going to keep doing these trivia questions, and whoever gets them right, I'll enter their names into a raffle, maybe to win a gift card. So be sure to stay tuned for these throughout the videos, and be sure to let me know in the comments what you think your guess is. If that sounds like a good idea to you guys, be sure to let me know. In addition to Victor, I want to thank all the following people for playing: Gen Z Investing, Ryan Giffen, Investing with Jason, Marco Gill, Hidden Freedom Investing. But I do want to say Dave's answer was so bad, I think I'm actually going to have to take away points from him. So he actually starts at -1. Now, I did have some buys here on last Friday, and I didn't actually even realize that I had spent so much on buying stocks till I was actually running the numbers for this video. So I know I have a really strange addiction. I can't stop buying dividend stocks. I probably need to get some help on that. So stay tuned. We're going to go over the stock portfolio real quick here just to see all the percent gains today. This won't be super in-depth. I'll probably save that for a later video this month. But if you guys make sure to show that like button some love and let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, maybe I can rush it out sooner. So let's go over the stocks here. Now, this first company has just been spectacular with how they manage cash. They've been very respectful of their shareholders, and they've been really just a model of excellence on what a company should be doing, and that, of course, is Boeing. Oh, wait, no, actually, just take back everything I said, and Boeing has actually been doing the exact opposite. So down here, I'm now down almost 60% on this position. As you guys know, Boeing has just been foolishly spending money on share buybacks, and they've actually spent over 96% of their free cash flow buying back their own shares, which means they've been artificially increasing their share price, and rather than investing that money back into the company, they've just been buying back shares. So Boeing is an example of what not to do. So if anyone ever asks me, hey, do I have a company that doesn't actually pay out dividends, I can now refer them to Boeing, because they completely suspended their dividend. And since they got this huge bailout money, I highly doubt that they're going to be even allowed to be paying dividends for quite some time. But since they are one of the two large aerospace manufacturing companies in the world, I do expect Boeing to one day reach the prices that I bought it at, but that's probably going to take some time here now, unfortunately. So this was all actually really a segue into a company that has been taking care of its finances very well, and that is United Health. This is a very financially responsible company. It has, if you look at its financials, it's exactly everything that you would want in a company. It has rising revenues, rising cash flow, an amazing balance sheet. Now, basically, everybody needs health insurance, especially those living in the United States. So they pass off all their expenses to the customers in the form of premiums, and they can raise that even as inflation happens year over year. So it's very intriguing business model there, and that's what's kind of so controversial about a company like United Health. You know, health insurance in America is always controversial, and you know, basically the biggest risk to this company is changing healthcare systems, and I actually think that's the biggest threat. But we know for at least the next 4 years that likely won't be an issue, as it's all but certain now that Trump versus Biden will be happening this November. Just check the latest Vegas odds if you want an unbiased opinion. Now let's go over the rest of these companies a little bit faster here. So Boeing, almost 20% upwards direction today. United Health, 8%. Johnson & Johnson up 4%. Great company here. And AbbVie up 3%, so it's back up to 75. Still get an amazing dividend yield here. Visa, just an absolute tear today, up 11.5%. This is a company I'm not even sure why it fell, to be honest. Them and MasterCard, absolutely no reason for them to be falling as much as they have been. I understand people aren't going to be swiping their cards as much, but come on, man. Okay, Waste Management up a little bit today. Store, this is another one that I bought on Friday. I bought UNH on Friday. I bought Store. This is one that's just gotten beat down so much here in the last 3 months, down 57%. So people might now be questioning why I keep buying into this stock. I bought them the week before this last Friday as well. And really, I just think that real estate, it's been hit so hard here, and I think it's been hit harder than other industries because some governments are saying it's okay to not pay rent and that you can kind of just defer that money in the future. I don't know. I don't really see that happening. I do think that this whole situation will clear up probably sooner than most people expect it to. And I think real estate is the best asset class to have. So I might look foolish now buying this, but so did people that were buying real estate back in 2008. And guess who has the last laugh on that? So really just taking my chances here with Store. I'm down huge on this position, but I really do expect to get my money back as soon as everything just returns to normal. People are still going to need physical land to do business on. That's why I've been buying a lot of Store recently. Still think it's at a great price here. And then Coca-Cola, absolutely been taking off here, 6% today. Duke, great utility company. This is a newer position in my portfolio. Going to continue to add to it. Then we have AT&T. Had to make sure I didn't say T-Mobile there. This is also trading at pretty low prices here, 7% today, so might want to add some more shares this week here. Prudential up 6%. Glad to see them bouncing back. Apple 8% today, which is pretty big because basically the market usually trades however Apple trades. So to see them up 8%, that usually means the market's doing well as well. So then we have the oil companies in Shell and ExxonMobil. So really hope that Saudi Arabia and Russia deal or whatever is happening there, that gets solved quickly. I still see oil playing a big role in our daily lives. Maybe not as big as it did maybe 50 years ago, but I don't think these oil companies are going anywhere. But it is kind of risky. I do think all their dividends, they might be safer now, but at what cost? Or these companies are picking up a lot of debt just to be able to keep paying those ridiculous dividend yields. So they really are coming at a cost in more ways than one. Now, this was the next stock that I bought on Friday, and that would be Applied Materials. So Applied Materials up to $46 here, 9% today. Basically, everything that I've been saying in prior videos about semiconductors and artificial intelligence, that I still see all of that happening, and it's going to be huge this upcoming decade. And if I still feel that way, I'm still going to be investing in great companies like Applied Materials, what I see as a little bit of a discount here. So then we have NVIDIA, again, same concept, semiconductor, up 10%. Applied Materials is more of the manufacturing of what semiconductor companies use. And then we have Medtronic. Glad to see this stock finally go up. I know it's, ever since I've owned it, it only seems to go down, but nice healthcare stock. They do a lot of medical technology, and that's nice to see, especially in times like this. Then we have Southern. This was another stock that I bought, up 10% today. So this is, when I bought it last week, it was around a 5% yield. And utilities, just like Duke, are as safe as they get, really. I mean, they're regulated monopolies. People are going to be paying their utility bills. That's going to be a priority in the bills that they pay. They've actually been doing a lot of spending, and no, they are not pulling a Boeing, and they aren't just spending money to make their owners rich. They're actually spending a lot on capital projects for the company. Over $40 billion is being pumped into a new nuclear power plant, which is actually the only one that's actually under current construction right now in the United States. And that's expected to bring in an extra 4 to 6% in profits every year. So it is nice to see companies actually improving their own capital projects and actually using their money wisely and not just on share buybacks. Then we have Pfizer, up a little bit at 2%. Glad to see them finally bouncing back. MasterCard, just like Visa, up 12% here. So with all the C-19 talk going, actually slowing down, that would maybe be investor sentiment that people are finally going to go out and be able to shop again. And of course, they're going to be swiping those plastic little cards. Microsoft, glad to see them bouncing back as well, up to 7% today. Intel, almost 8% today. McDonald's, this is another one that I've been keeping a close eye on, up almost 10.5% today. Now, I had been looking at their financials a little bit more closely. It does seem like they've been pulling some Boeing type behavior. Would like to see their financials look a little bit stronger in terms of how much cash they have on hand, as well as don't like to see how much they've been spending on buybacks. But McDonald's, again, still a great company, I believe, and it will be interesting to see if I buy another share this week, as well as with Starbucks. This is one that I'm hoping falls a little bit more, and I can get in on that as well. Pepsi, another super defensive stock. It's already back up to basically what it was trading at before all this mess started to happen. General Mills, this stock has actually went up since this C-19 issue has happened. So it's up 10% in the last 3 months. So General Mills, it may not do as well as other companies during bull markets, but it's definitely super defensive because people will be eating that cereal. Equinix doing well at 4.5% today. Oh, this is another stock that I bought on Friday. I just thought it was trading way too cheap here at 40. It was around $42. Yeah, $42 on Friday. And I just thought it was a good time to get in. So I bought some more shares of them. And again, same thing with Store in terms of real estate being oversold, in my opinion. NRZ, this is another one that's suspended, or actually, no, they cut their dividend down to 5 cents. Which is a huge cutoff from when they went from 50 cents to now 5 cents. So basically, I'm just taking a bet that they will be able to survive this, and then I'm sure that they will be able to resume paying out that high dividend in the future. But again, this is something I calculated this risk when I went into this position. I knew this would be a risky stock for times like this, but hey, I'm sure times will get better, and NRZ hopefully will be able to survive and keep paying me dividends. JP Morgan Chase just had their ex-dividend date, so I was glad to get that dividend. Bank of America looks like they're also been up. Disney up 6% today. Still looking at a very attractive price there at just under $100. 3M up 5% today. They've been in the news for not necessarily the greatest of reasons recently. Procter & Gamble, another great defensive stock. Then we got the railroads doing well here. It might have to add another couple shares of CSX. Been trading real cheap here. We have Verizon and Chubb doing well today as well. SPHD claims to be low volatility, but up 6% here. down 30% in the last 3 months. That doesn't exactly scream low volatility to me. And then we have Ford, which has actually suspended their dividend, but this is actually probably the best move for them. They need to be able to preserve capital to stay in business. And then I'm sure as soon as everything goes back to normal, they will continue to pay out that dividend, because nobody is probably out buying a brand new car in the middle of this whole epidemic. So with all the shares that I bought on Friday, I actually ended up adding a whole $39.31 to my yearly dividends. And that's dividends that I will probably get for the rest of my life, assuming that these companies stay in business and don't cut their dividend. What is more likely is that these companies year over year will raise the dividend. So at minimum, that's $39.31 I will get for the rest of my life. So that's really exciting anytime I can do that. And that's, one less dollar I have to go out and actually work for, and more money that's going to be working for me. So guys, if you guys have any questions, please be sure to let me know in the comments. Make sure to make a guess at that trivia question, and be sure to subscribe to the channel as well.